Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Intel Extreme Masters Singapore. It is day 3 here in Singapore, which unfortunately means that we are halfway through all the action here because we have 4 days of amazing esports, but it also means that the best is yet to come as we have the semifinals of the Pro Tournament coming up today and of course the Grand Finals tomorrow. And before those Grand Finals tomorrow, we also have a surprise for you guys, but I'm not going to spoil that just yet. But today we are starting off with 2 semifinals, 2 best of 3s, and a whole lot of fun. Our first matchup today is going to be Invictus Gaming, the Chinese powerhouse, as they take on the Taipei Snipers. And that's going to be followed by CJ Entus Frost with McNoon in the mid lane as they take on the Saigon Jokers. A lot of action today, and to break it all down, here's EGAD and Rapid.
Thank you very much, Shocks. It's great to be back for another day of the Intel Extreme Masters Singapore. Like you said, we've had 2 great days of action already. We've had the amateur tournament not only start, but conclude with some amazing games there. I think we had 2 best of 3s go all the way and an incredible grand finals. I saw a couple of highlight reels of those games earlier on. And just ridiculous amounts of action, and that's just the amateur tournament. We are here in the semifinals of the Pro Tournament, and I gotta say, starting out with our first lineup, or our first matchup, is Invictus Gaming, a team that we haven't actually seen play very recently, at least in the Chinese scene. So it's gonna be nice to see them coming back here today. They're gonna be facing off against the Taipei Snipers, a team that they brought in Wins as their jungler in place of, I believe it was O'Real, and it's just been incredibly stellar. Just checking out the scrims that they played here in the office, as well as some of their performances. I believe they played last night in the GPL versus it was Full Lewis, and just it was on the new patch. It was an incredible performance. Actually brought off their sub roster, and it was really, really awesome to see them play. Yeah, and also on the screen right now, you can see the bracket leading up to here. You see Taipei Snipers take a 2-0 victory over Singapore Sentinels, which are the crowd favorite here. And then we see Saigon Jokers 2-0ing Taipei Assassins. So going to be a good job from them to go up against CJ Entus Frost later on tonight. But this game that we're going to be showing you, Invictus Gaming versus Taipei Snipers. I don't know why I call them TPA for some reason. But hopefully it's going to be a nice best of 3. I think these teams are going to be really, really evenly matched. Yeah, and it's interesting you mentioned TPA. They actually played in the quarterfinals versus the Saigon Jokers, and it was really interesting because here at IEM Singapore, it was a little bit of a mixed decision. Most people favored TPA to win, but Saigon Jokers rather, they 2-0'd them in dominant fashion. The interesting thing to me is that later on that very night, both teams played in the GPL, and it was the other way. Yeah, the Taipei Assassins just dominated them. And so it's interesting to see how one team can come out and do very well at LAN and then go right back into the same situation in GPL and have the opposite performance. Yeah, and on your screen you see it already all set up and getting hyped up for their game. And the rosters on this team, we saw some subs yesterday, so they're going to have their actual full lineups coming in, and it's going to be PDD, Illusion, Zete, Kid, and Xiao Xiao on IG, while we did see Win subbing in for Taipei Snipers, like you said yesterday. So it's going to be Zonda, O'Real, Nex ABC, God JJ, that AD carry that streams a lot on Twitch and has some pretty phenomenal plays, and Mistake going to be supporting him with that. Right. If you've never watched God JJ's stream, you guys are missing out. That guy is absolutely fantastic. There you can see PDD on your stream, one of the best top laners in China, if not even the world. That guy is a monster, and it's great to see him and the entire roster of IG coming back here today. Now, IG, a team that we haven't seen all that much. In fact, I think in 2 of their last performances, they've actually wound up losing to its Royal Club, which is kind of ironic since IG, your Royal Club used to be IG, or at least the majority of their roster. But we're here in Picks and Bans, jumping in to our first game, the first best of 3, the semifinals of the Pro Tournament here at Intel Extreme Masters Singapore. Yeah, and the first ban going to come out is going to be taking away Love Cryboy's any support, as I guess actually he's going to be subbing in for them, unless they didn't change his name, right? But I think Love Cryboy is on the roster, I'm not sure. But any support can be taken out there. Elise going to be taken away from Wins, which had a really strong performance from what we saw yesterday. And then Vayne from Kid, as that's one of his main AD carries, and we're going to see if they target out Zonda, because his Rengar play has been
the most phenomenal thing I've seen. He goes Spirit Visage, maxes the Primal Roar, and just becomes that sustaining tank monster that we're used to seeing. What was it? It was like early Season 3/Season 2, where you saw the tank Rengar just being completely dominant, and even AP Rengar, but that's not anywhere near anything today.
No AP Rengars here, but Rengar and Gragas, two huge power picks for the Taipei Snipers that if you're looking for picks and bans, those are the champions you're going to want to go for, as well as, like you said, targeting wins Elise. You can see 2 of those 3 bans already coming out. If we see the Rengar, that's going to be a lot of great research and target banning out there from IG. But for Taipei Snipers, going up against an IG that we haven't really seen for a while, it's interesting to see double support bans going up against IG with only an 80 carry there as the 3rd.
Well, we've seen Annie support make tons of play. Flash Chibbers, the Incinerate 5-man stuns that we've seen, not here, but all over the place, like when they just come out. And Fiddlesticks Fear. 3 seconds of fear. If you don't build Merc Treads or have any kind of tenacity, it's really bad. But Lee Sin getting taken away from Win/Zonda in top. And then Gragas, like you said before, next ABC is one of his main mid laners. But Zonda instantly going to lock in the Rengar for the top lane, while the side of IG still hover over their picks. The Nidalee could be for Zatai mid, as well as the Vi, potentially in the jungle for Illusion.
Yeah, no question about that. Just going straight for that Rengar. I believe they played it in GPL last night. If you guys caught the games yesterday watching Taipei Snipers play, good sweet lord, Zonda just does crazy things with a Rengar that a lot of people think of as like a burst assassin. You stack up a lot of attack damage on him, but Zonda just plays him as a sustain monster that in Season 3, coming into Season 4, is so strong. Spirit Visage, Sunfire Cape, and apparently that's all you need.
No, you just run right through the whole team and then maybe a Trinity Force late game. But the Nidalee and Vi did get locked in here. We do see a hover over Lucian and Nunu. Nunu has been picking up some steam lately. This isn't 3.14, mind you. This is 3.13. So we're going to see potentially a blood boiled up Lucian. And does he need any more mobility? He's got the Relentless Pursuit. He can get away from slows with that. And with Ice Blast, the slow and chase, the kiting potential is huge. And we could see Wins playing Nunu in the jungle. Like, still could be Nunu support. We don't know. It's not his main role anymore like he used to be in Season 2. But they do lock it in. Lucian for O'Real, and Wins most likely taking that Nunu in the jungle.
Yeah, but you can see from IG's picks just the priority that they want to place. Zatai in the mid lane, he's going to get the AP Nidalee, and we've seen that be consistent with great poke performances. You know, in Season 4, or in the 3.14 patch, received a little bit of a nerf, but this is still 3.13, incredibly strong poke damage, and could signal a little bit of a poke team comp coming out as Ezreal now being hovered over there by Kid. One of the last great Ezreal players out there is pretty much everyone else has either switched over to Lucian or Jinx. Kid really dominant on that champion, and will be going up against, it is probably going to be, all right, it's the supports Sona locked in, and that's actually kind of interesting considering, like we said, double support bans in Annie and Fiddlesticks.
Yeah, there's still some other options. There's Lulu open for a very aggressive poke lane if you want to do that, but Sona fits in really well. She's really squishy. We talked about this yesterday, how she has the health of a melee minion and it gets blown up fairly easily, but health quints can solve that problem. But so Sona, Ezreal in the bot lane, a lot of poke coming in, Mystic Shots, Hymns of Valor, Power Chords all over the place. Then the AoE synergy in the level 6 point in the lane is very dangerous. Crescendo as well as True Shot Barrage coming in, just something you don't want to face. And it could be a sign of a lane swap. They could put it in the mid, they could put it in the top. But TPS looks like they're hovering over a Leona, as we haven't seen much of her at all recently, but Lucian Leona, that's a pretty good lane. You go in with the Zenith Blade, you have the passive to proc the Gunslinger, and if you time it right with her her W, you could proc it twice, but they swap it over to Lulu. That's a little bit more of a legitimate pick here. Leona can get kited out and poked out, has a lot of good engage, but Lulu's safer. Giant growth coming in slow, and shields and Whimsy is always really fun. And Kassadin, someone we haven't really seen much at all here, because the Asian teams don't seem to really prioritize him.
That's actually right, and especially going into Season 4, or the 3.14 patch, which is kind of the preseason patch. I haven't really seen all that much Kassadin. It's locked in there. O'Real going to take that one down, and will be on next ABC in the mid lane. We've highlighted him as a Gragas player, but Kassadin kind of accomplishes a very similar role. You have a lot of mobility, a lot of roam potential, and the ability to just come out of nowhere, blow somebody apart, and to really sort of kite around the edge of those team fight, dishing out a lot of damage.
So they're going to pit PDD's Renekton against the Rengar of Zonda, and Zonda kind of just destroys Renekton's in lane. That's going to be a really interesting match.
A lot of players look towards Shyvana versus that Renekton matchup, but to either split even or have a little bit of an edge in some situations, depending on the way that builds and ganks work out. But for Zonda, he goes Rengar into basically everything, and especially against Renekton, one of the strongest top laners out there. I don't think he's had any problems so far, but PDD, one of the best top laners in China, gonna give him a run for his money.
Oh man, the Nunu pick as well. I wonder if that's going to be a signal for the lane swap as well as an early aggressive invade towards the red or blue, because you can deny away a red from Vi. She can't start it on purple side. She could start it on purple side, but I'm not sure if she's going to go for it or red side. Actually, I forgot what it is, but she can start blue, go red, and with the Nunu from Wins, I expect a really aggressive invade.
All right, so we are closing out picks and bans. There's going to be your final lineups for both teams. You can see Taipei Snipers, they're intense, they're ready to get this down. In his interview yesterday, it was Mistake that said, you know what, going into this game, we recognize that IG are an incredibly strong team, but they expect that they may either be able to pull something out surprising or just go toe-to-toe because, hey, Taipei Snipers, they've been looking incredibly strong. Before yesterday, actually top of their group in GPL. So,
8-2?
Yeah, 8-2, so an incredible record there, and now taking on one of the very best teams in not only just China, but in almost the entire world, coming into the first game in our first best of 3 of the night here at Intel Extreme Masters Singapore, and we are out onto the Rift for our first game of the evening. It's going to be the Azubu Taipei Snipers down there in the bottom.
Wins? Just started with a Doran's Blade on Jungle Nunu. What are you doing, sir? Actually, I'm going to take a quick chance to look at his Masteries runes. Let's see here. 71 flat attack damage coming in, a little bit of attack speed. He's got 1% crit rune. So coming in with that, that's really going to be interesting. And I wonder if he's just going to go for a standard jungle route. It looks like no, as he's heading towards the red, and possibly just going to look for a safe line position down the whole map, as both teams are mirroring their starts here. They have everybody towards the dragon, a little bit of exchange from PDD and Zonda right now, having Lover Seaboy go up there and help him put out a ward. But right now, just a very defensive start, and Zonda just poking away at PDD, as well as him just throwing some auto attacks out as well.
Yeah, just kind of having fun at the beginning of the game, but we have seen that kind of turn around when you get stopped from backing, can't go back and heal, but hey, it's Rengar, it's Renekton, you're not really going to have too many problems there. A lot of sustain in the top lane, so might not be somewhere to focus just based on the sort of tanky sustain monsters we've been seeing. And that's actually kind of a contrast between Southeast Asian teams and Chinese teams, because Chinese teams look at the top lane for even carry potential, whereas for Taipei Snipers and a lot of Southeast Asian teams, they pretty much just sit the side laner off on his own island and don't really do all that much.
Yeah, we saw a lot of that with Red. Kind of just sat there all day, farmed up, and became a beast. And now everything's coming in. It looks like it's going to be a red start for Wins, as well as a blue start for Illusion. So going to be going blue-red and red-blue, respectively, for both sides. And could see a lot of aggression up top as well. You could just give Blood Boil to Zonda, or we could just see farm heavy jungles and look for those level 6 ganks like we normally used to seeing from Vi.
Yeah, this is fairly standard. Both junglers starting on the bottom half of the map before going for quick level 3, both buffs, and then looking to probably put some pressure ganks top lane. You gank top early, then you might look towards a lot of mid lane ganks, because once you hit level 6, Nidalee, Kassadin both very hard to catch, so might look to gank them out pre-6 there.
All right, so up top, it's just going to be Zonda versus PDD, just going to roam around a little bit. Down bot, though, it's going to be a very heavy poke lane. We have Piercing Light, Glitter Lances all over the place, Mystic Shots, and Hymns of Valor and Power Chords going to be coming in. And just a lot of trading. It's a lot of potions coming out from Mistake. He's got the Biscuit. He's got a lot of red pots. We do see the poke coming in right there. Piercing Light, Gunslinger passive, going to chunk Kid down to below half. And before level 2 is achieved for the side of IG, I think TPS can actually shove out the lane faster, get that level 2, and start to zone away from CS and force at least Mystic Shot attempts from Kid.
Yeah, duo lanes are all about that level 2. You can see already just incredible trades, knowing they want to push things. There's a Reels level 2, and Kid can't do anything about it.
Yep, just jash right on in. He's still farming up with the Mystic Shots, and that lane is going to be a little aggressive and poke heavy for a while. It actually looks like they're forcing Kid back to base as he is doing the back. He's not going to cancel it, so he's going to be behind for a little bit and lose out on quite a bit of XP if they can shove at the tower on the side of TPS.
Yeah, Kid still level 1, buys nothing but potions, and comes back into lane. So Lover Cryboy is actually going to be at level 2 and out-leveling AD carry for the first while. We've got Illusion sitting top, but with Renekton pushing the wave into the turret, unless they dive Zonda, that's not going to be a lot.
They could wait for the wave to reset too and capitalize on maybe Zonda aggressively pushing out, but I think he could be a little bit smarter than that.
Pretty big wave.
Yeah, it'll fall down pretty fast. I'm pretty sure it'll be okay. But meanwhile, while Illusion's wasting his time, not wasting his time up top, but like sitting up top and trying to help out PDD, we do see Win still farming up the Wraiths and going towards his Wolves and Golems and just farming back up on that Nunu. And I wonder where that Doran's Blade is going to go.
All right, well, it's going to go down here to Wolf Camp as now Illusion checks the Wolf Camp. It's going to respawn just in time as he walks away, so great timing there for Wins, knowing exactly when he needed to get there, but nothing quite for Illusion. Going in on the next ABC, forces the flash. Nice flash, but still, flash blown. Successful gank for Illusion.
Could loop back around, try to make a nice little camp around in that mid lane as he is going to go to his race and try to achieve level 4. Down bot, though, Kid, once again, getting poked out, but PDD actually trading with Zonda, and Zonda coming out very far ahead. Primal Roars the heal up. If he's got the full stacks. He doesn't look like he's going to use it just yet and save it for another occasion, as is he actually maxing the Roar in the lane?
Oh, they're going to go for the dive.
Oh, there's going to be the Bola dive underneath. It's going to be the tank out from Zonda. He's going to flash away, not get out of turret range, and first blood over to PDD with the help of Illusion coming in. A really good stun coming out from PDD, still in tower range through the flash of Zonda. So IG gonna snag up a first blood.
And you can see that as soon as Zonda went there under turret, he's like, I don't really want to do that. Forced the flash away almost immediately, and Wins just wasn't there. Like, he didn't really contribute. He walked under turret, got a nice ice blast off, and that's about it. Now, bottom lane, a lot of harass going down on to Mistake. O'Real does have a very solid advantage over Kid there, at least the level advantage as far as that's concerned. Both AD carries, Doran's Blades, but the health potions, and especially that mana potion there for Kid, they're keeping him in this lane.
Yep, and the potions that Kid picked up before, like you said, are helping him sustain through a lot of this poke, as well as the heal coming in from Sona there. But we see, man, we haven't really talked about it that much after that first gank. Zatai is over, is about 9 to 10 CS ahead of next ABC at this point, and ABC is keeping it passive. He's got his flash down. He's forced to sit back, use those null spheres to farm up and keep himself safe because he does not want to get ganked by Illusion, especially since Illusion's level 5 and trying to hit that level 6 in the jungle. And with the extra XP he got from the first blood, it's helping him kind of snowball himself out of the jungle and hit level 6 and try to maybe gank bot.
Well, it's kind of expected for Kassadin. You go down in CS early on, and then you just kill everybody later in the game. For Zonda top lane, though, we talked about how well he does in that Rengar versus Renekton matchup. But with that early dive not working out so well, it does give a kill and probably at least the next 4 or 5 minutes over to PDD, regardless of jungler ganks. So at least for now, looking to prioritize that top lane. Illusion is sat up there for what is been basically the first 3 minutes of the game after going for his early buffs, but for Nunu, it's looking to come down bottom lane on Kid.
All right, this is going to be the Ice Blast on a Kid right now. He's forced to shift away, still has flash, pops the barrier. Piercing Light comes out through the exhaust, though. Not much damage from that. Cryboy and everybody else going to run right on out. Ice Blast connects, and he's able to just heal it off and shrug it out. And after that, it kind of just the barrier blown in an exhaust, so they have their flashes for a little bit more mobility in the next fight, while ABC and Zatai are going at it in the mid lane. Null Sphere comes out, but not going to choose to chase it down. He's going to get the farm and try to establish a little bit of his zone since Zatai is a little low on mana. But Illusion up top.
Yeah, he's scouted out by awards, so looking for the dive. I think this is actually going to go a lot better. Now, Nunu will have Blood Boil and will have the ability to run top lane as quickly as possible.
He's shown himself. Vault Breaker's charging up right now. It does connect. The stun comes out. He's going to pop the ultimate and go invisible and be just fine. He gets out of there, has full stacks, can sustain back up with that roar. So it looks like that dive was not as successful as the... Actually, no, it was pretty successful. It forced out the ultimate. They could loop back around, and his flash and ignite are still down.
Yeah, that's the thing
about...
Are
they roaming mid?
Rengar. They are going to roam for the blue buff respawn at 7:25, I believe. A little bit later on. No, it's actually later because he started red. So they're not going to be there for the respawn.
They avoided the ward, too, in the mid lane. But Wins is going to actually spot them out. And here comes ABC. He's going to pop Dominant. PDD's popping Dominant. It's really early. Flashes in, gets the stun, and there's the Assault and Battery. And PDD picks up the second kill of the game with a nice roam from the top lane, leaving Zonda up there and just completely bullying around the map with the help of Illusion. And that's going to be next ABC as the second death for TPS.
Yeah, like you said, avoiding the ward and making it right through the blue buff. You don't really expect a Renekton, who's been top lane the entire game, to just show up in your jungle.
And now they're getting Dragon.
And then run you over. Yeah, IG capitalizing off of that perfectly. It's not the kills you get, it's what you do with them. And with the first kill of the game coming at, or the second kill rather, there for PDD, coming in around the 7-minute mark, it's an incredibly early Dragon for IG.
A nice 8-minute Dragon, a nice almost 2,000 gold lead at this point, showing their strengths right now. Roman as a team and coordinating really well. We do see Zonda and PDD trading back up top. He's just jumping between the brushes right now. O'Real going to apply a little bit of pressure to Kid, but they shrug it off, get the nice little heal out there. And it's going to be still O'Real dominating that bot lane after a nice back, not a nice back, but a forced back onto Kid, where it just snowballed his CS lead very far.
Exactly. It's 15 CS. It's going to be very effective for O'Real. Now, keep in mind, O'Real plays just about everything. He was the jungler for TPS, and then Wins came in from the Gamma Bears lineup, I believe it was, and he's just been a really big source of strength in the jungle for TPS. Now, rather than just sit O'Real on the bench, they're like, hey, you're still a great player. We're going to put you as AD carry. That's exactly what he's doing down there in the bottom lane, very effectively, like we discussed. With both mid laners, level 6, they're going to be both very mobile, very hard to gank, and with a lot of roam pressure on the map, too, something that Kassadin does very, very well. So look to see who gets that on first. Looks like it's Zatai. Gonna get on towards bot lane. Not quite gonna head that way just yet.
Just attempting to drop a ward down there, which he does. So they have the entrance of the red covered right there. He's gonna just use his blue buff stack. He's actually not building a tier like we normally have seen so far. We see True Shot Barrage come out to clear some of the wave, help him push. And ABC, he has caught up a little bit. He's stacking up his tier, looking for a Saurus Embrace. Might see a Rod come in from him later on in this game, or just go straight for the Death Cap Zoid Staff and try to just blow people up in one shot.
The Zoid Staff.
The
Great
Zoid Staff.
anime and also a pretty effective lineup there, or item.
Oh, PDD.